Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Denise. So, got my Stencil Girl and my Sketchbox yesterday. I got this a couple days ago. So I thought time to do our monthly little haul video. It's tough sometimes waiting to open these for when I do this right here. Let's just see what we got here. With the Stencil Club. Okay, Stencil Club is by Stencil Girl. I do link this under every video. And you get 2 stencils every month. And they've got some really cool stencils. It's been like the best thing. But look at these. This is like a stencil and a mask. But these are like waves and birds. So the bird is really pretty. Okay. And then we got stars. Different star types. Okay. I think I'm really gonna like those. We just jumped right in today. And my Sketchbox, because I hadn't really been out shopping for art supplies. I'm gonna buy less this year, but definitely like my little surprises. I haven't even seen a hint of what this is. Oh, and I wanted to tell you too, I bought some big pads of this Bao Academy paper. Because I like the size, you know, it's a 10 by 15, which is bigger than my 9 by 12s I use. Like, look how much bigger that is. And it's 100% cotton. And what I liked about it is these I was getting for about $17 for a pack of 12 off of Amazon. Because that's the easiest way to get this sometimes, because the art store is all the way on the other side of town, like over an hour away. And you get 12 sheets for about, it was $17, but I just know it's gone up to like $20, $21, and I'm sure with all the stuff going on, it'll go up even higher than that. So, you know, paper's expensive, I get it, but this was my very, very favorite. And so, you know, if you get a favorite, use your favorite, buy it when it's on sale, stock up a little bit when you see a sale come up, and that's what I've done with the Hanamule paper. But I thought, you know, I've had enough people say in different posts that I've seen and all that they liked the Bao paper, so I thought, I'll try one of these. This is 10 by 15, 100% cotton. I think this is their nicer student grade paper. It's not the artist paper, but I love it. I love it. It's 20 sheets of paper for about $26, which comes out to a fantastic price for a 10 by 15. It's way cheaper than a bigger sheet of the Hanamule or the Arches or any of those. And I've been recording some videos on this paper, and I really like it. So, and my paper does not tear when I put my tape on it. So, I just wanted to throw that out there. I know a lot of artists use the Bao and they like it, and it does not tear with the tape, and so I have decided that I like it. We'll see this coming up in videos a little bit later. I get ahead in my videos, and so it's probably a month out before you even start seeing some of these. But I thought I'd mention that. I like the Academy, and this it may be called Meeden, because Meeden and Bao are apparently the same, or Bao is making the Meeden paper, however you want to say that. So if you order the Bao and you get a pad of Meeden with a little different cover on it, it is the same thing. So just thought I'd throw that out there. I am really liking this, and I liked the price for 20 sheets, and they're bigger. Good one. Goodbye. Let's see what we got. I have not seen any spoilers, so now I'm like, what did we get? What did we get? Oil pastel and color shaper premium box. Okay, we got an oil pastel box, and I like oil pastels, so that's kind of exciting. Let's check it out. 6 sticks of oil pastels by Van Gogh. Okay, I don't think I have any Van Gogh, or if I do, I don't remember having them. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Got a pad of Legion Stonehenge oil paint paper, which that's kind of neat. I've not tried the Stonehenge. I have usually used the Arches oil paper. We've got a color shaper. That's a nice one. It's got a little triangle tip there. That'll be fun for lots of things. Oh, we got 3 shapers, and these are made for Sketchbox. They all say Sketchbox signature. Uh-oh, I see some Sennelier over there. All right. I do like Sennelier. I have a big box of the Sennelier, and you don't really see them that often, but they're super duper creamy, and they definitely have their place in a premium. Okay, there we go. There's the 3 color shapers. So I like those, and I'm probably going to use those for mark making in all my stuff, not just oil pastels. So those are good. That's a good set of boxes. Look at that. Oh, I love the sticker. Okay, got 3 Sennelier ones. Yeah, these are super duper creamy. And for mark making, you don't see me pull these out as much because I like, oh, they're my metallic. They're 3 metallic ones. Okay, that's good. I don't think the ones that I have are metallic. Yeah, but for the mark making, I usually pull out my, what are these? My Mungios, because they have a different, like texture, like it's a, let me just pull out a piece of paper here. But these are less creamy and like, I don't know, they just mark a little bit different. These are like super creamy, like you're painting with literally like lipstick. That's how creamy they are. Very pigmented, lovely. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay, so this one actually, these are the Van Goghs. They feel like the Mungios. They're stronger, good for like mark making. Okay, yes, these will be really good for making great big dots and mark making and doing the different things that I like to do with pastels, which is mix them in with all my other stuff. And then we can move stuff around and color shape, like if you want to do like little landscapes or something. And these are silicone, so the little oil pastel just comes right off of it. Okay, super fun. Super fun. Now, what I like about oil paper is it's already kind of primed for oil pastels, which is nice. You know, so we could just tape one of these down. This was watercolor paper. It was not oil paper. And a lot of times if you use an oil pastel on a regular paper, the oil will leach out. Kind of like it'll just leach out like it's oil, because it is oil. That one's crooked. That'll probably bug me, but oh well. I don't know. I don't want to do any oil pastel just like it is. I kind of want to do mark making. So I wonder if we do a little bit of painting on here and then mark make on top of it. Just kind of want to go back to what I enjoy doing with these sometimes. Let's think about this. I mean, I guess we could do, let's just do it. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and do an abstract piece in oil pastel and just play like I would with watercolor, just to kind of give it a play here. And I could even take some mark making underneath and just see like what that's gonna do, you know, as we color on top of it. Okay, and you can see the mark making underneath, so that's kind of interesting there. And two, we can kind of color on top of each of those and just see, you know, how's that going to do for blending in. You can take your finger and do some blending if you want. We can layer more layers on top of these. These, you'll eat these up pretty quick if you're playing especially on a big piece like this, you'll eat these up pretty fast. Just play with our little tools and see how those move around. I don't do traditional art like a lot of these would be using, like if I did a landscape and I need to color shape in the clouds and stuff like that. I've got a friend that does a lot of stuff like that. I don't really get into more of the traditional things like that where you're doing something you can really see. She has a whole set of these color shapers, and she loves them for shaping clouds in the sky. And I'm like, oh, that's fascinating. That's how she uses those. I have some color things up there probably, but it's not been something that I have traditionally been like, oh, let's pull these out and use the color shapers on the type of art that I've been doing. But you never know. Now that I've got these and it's kind of like something new, maybe we'll pull them out. I feel like I've lost one. Oh, is that one right there? Like, where did that go? Okay, that's a little crazy. Let's just see what we got. I might pull out some watercolors or something to do like a piece like I would normally do, but it is kind of fun to test out what did we get with the supplies, and then we'll just see. Okay, so this is definitely a little tiny bit crazy, maybe not in a good way, but it is fun to test. And then I might just tap off the little extra bits, and if you do oil pastel, I do finish that with the oil pastel Sennelier fixative, so keep that in mind if you do those. I kind of feel like I want to do maybe a sampler set, and then we can use these as some mark making. So let's do that. I'm kind of feeling that, and we'll just see if we like what we got when we end up. These are funner when you're doing something that you actually want to do. This is the watercolor paper. It's the Hahnemuhle paper. And I'm just taping a grid off. It's 9 by 12. I've been obsessed with playing with the grids and experimenting and doing little sampler sets. And these are just painter's tapes. And just gonna tape these off. I just kind of roughly eyeball it. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not looking for perfect. You can definitely tape way more exact than I do if this drives you a little insane. But these are for fun, and so I'm not getting hung up on, oh no, it has to be perfect kind of feel. I just want it to be close, but maybe not crooked. Close enough. As I continue to tweak it there. So these are roughly 3 by 3, probably angled and crooked, but that's okay. And I'm kind of feeling like maybe we'll do some watercolor, and then we'll mark make on top with some different stuff. So let's see here. Maybe we'll play with the Kuretakes, because on the different sampler sets that I've done that we've got coming up, that I have been really playing with these. I haven't played with the Kuretake. I've been using some other paints. No reason in particular. I've been using my Masha's watercolors because they're so rich and vibrant, and I love them. That's what I've been using. Took me a moment to even think of what I've been painting with lately. Well, let's just do some mark making. That's a Black Wing matte pencil. I like how vivid and dark it is. It's like a 14B, if you like the 14B Pit matte pencil, which I love. This reminds me of that 14B. Okay, I like that. Now I'm kind of thinking, this is the Art Nouveau set, and I don't know what I'm going to use, so let's just soak it all down. I'm kind of feeling like, what do you think? Okay, what do you think about some cool shades, like shades of blue and stuff? All right, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Let's do these blues. And maybe that green. Ooh, maybe blue-green. Okay, I'm feeling blue-green. All right, I'm feeling good now. All right, so I'm just going to lay the color down wherever I'm inspired to do it. And the reason why I like this blue-green is because of this pretty Sennelier one. Which may or may not end up using, but it's what inspired the thought. That's where we'll say for that. It inspired the thought. Not really worrying about composition and where I'm putting stuff, but just kind of going with where I'm inspired here. And I didn't pull those two blues out to see what they were, but they're Art Nouveau blues in there. Or I might have got it mixed up with the full set. I'm not sure. We'll pull it out in a second, when I'm sure I can spill paint everywhere. Look how pretty these colors are. They're so pretty. Oh my gosh. When I saw the oil pastels, I love oil pastels. So it's not like I was not excited to see those, but I thought, there's no paint to go with these oil pastels. So what am I going to make that I can be excited about? Because you just got to admit it. Some things are just more exciting than other things when you get to making the pieces of art that you enjoy making. And I needed some paint to really be the most excited about that art supply, because as a mixed media artist, I like to mix it all up. I don't want to just play with that one kind of supply sometimes, and oil pastels is one of those things. I don't want to just play with the oil pastel. I want to mark make on top of stuff. So now I'm super getting excited because these are so pretty. This right here just turned into an awesome paint day. Oh, that was kind of pretty where that speckled in there. So maybe let's speckle some green. Oh, look how pretty these colors are. Oh my goodness. What? Okay. Let's let that dry and I'll be right back. All right. We are dry. Mostly. I think we're dry. A tiny bit right here not dry. That's okay. I try to let the watercolor do its thing. I don't try to dry it before it's really dry, because watercolor does interesting stuff if you'll let it kind of do its thing. And then after it's mostly dry, then I'm like, okay, we'll go ahead and dry that one little corner. And another thing too, if you're drying watercolor with a heat gun, heat makes the tape lift, and that's how it ends up bleeding up underneath your tape a lot of times. So you got to be really careful with wet material like this, that you're not lifting the tape so it sinks underneath if you're not wanting it to sink underneath. Yeah, okay, let's mark make now, because now I feel like we could well, maybe I'll do that last. So you got to think when you're doing stuff, how do you want to layer? What is practical on the layers? What needs to come first? So for me, that's mark making in materials that I can paint on top of, like pencil. And then what needs to come second, like acrylic markers, paint pens, more pencil if you've got some more area that you're like, oh, let's do some more mark making. And then the very last thing that I think that you should use are oil pastels. Soft pastels, you could even use those and layer on top of those because they're soft powder, and you can kind of work that into a piece for the most part. But the oil pastels, that's basically a very last layer kind of material. So I'm just gonna play and do some mark making while we've got while I've got it at this stage. And this is just that Blackwing matte pencil, which came in another random Sketchbox of ours. I just love how Sketchbox sends the most creative, new, innovative stuff. And you know, one of the other art boxes that I used to get might be Art Snacks. Let's see, I'm gonna pull some Posca pen while I'm talking. I think it was the Art Snacks one. I ended up not really liking that box because they weren't really innovative. They didn't seem to work with vendors the same way that Sketchbox does. And I just got an email that they're going out of business. And I'm like, that's very sad. I hate that. But with everything going on with the tariff situation and stuff, they might have been priced out of goods with the manufacturers that they have and where the art supplies come from. But I just did not love their boxes. They weren't as creative in the curation. They didn't seem to work with manufacturers to make some of their own product, which I thought is very creative with Sketchbox. Sketchbox introduced me to all the Kuretake colors, and so I just feel like they've really gone above and beyond in their creativity in their boxes. I mean, you sometimes get a box that you're like, I don't know about this. What would I do with this kind of box? But in the end, it's been like the best experience for me because I love getting the new stuff and trying the fun things, and just, you know, just things that I never would have picked for myself. And some of these things have ended up being my very, very fave things, like all the Kuretake golds. So yeah, if I get one box that I'm like, you know, maybe I'll give it to my neighbor. She's a teacher. and I feel like this stuff still gets good use. But other than that, I would say 98% of everything I've gotten, I have been super excited about. And then there'll be some boxes that I'm like, okay, not my most exciting, but I still enjoy getting that. Okay, that's super fun. I love doing these because it's the perfect way to do samplers and be creative, and I feel like I need some gold. So I'm going to pull out another Sketchbox introduction, the Copic Acrea. Last year, Sketchbox introduced us all to the Copic Acrea before they even came out. So I love how they make deals with the art manufacturers and introduce us to products that are just about to hit the market. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. So this gold, the Copic Acrea gold pen, has ended up being a real fave for me. So kind of feels appropriate that we've pulled it out on a Sketchbox video, right? I'm just gonna play and mark make here with these because I love these acrylic. I don't even know that they're acrylic pen. I'm not sure what they are, but man, this gold is a pretty gold. It's right up there for me with the Kuretake gold, and I like that it's in a pen that we can still get since we can't get the Kuretake Zig ones. This would be right up there for me. I like it. Okay, I think because I almost forgot this was down here. I think we should use some of these. And I really love this leafy thing. So I'm thinking the leafy thing. And might as well pull out the Kuretake gold mica paste, because that is one of the things that Sketchbox introduced us to in a holiday box a couple years ago. That's how I found that. If sometimes you wonder, like, how do you even find some of this stuff? It's them. They have introduced a lot of these things to us, and I'm just super grateful because now we know they exist and we can play with them. They've had some real good deals with the Kuretake people. Just wish they'd get that Zig liner over here in the States. Kuretake's a Japanese company, and I don't know, for some reason you can get those on like the European sites, but not the sites over here. And I'm like, why not? Look at that! Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. Oh yes, yes, that is so awesome. Okay, I don't really think I want the bird, but I could put more of the leafy thing somewhere. Ooh, maybe right here. We'll just kind of go right off the side there. And I'm trying to keep it's a dry brush, real thin on the paint. I don't want it to be so much I'm smearing it up underneath the stencils. Holy cow, look how gorgeous that leaf is. Oh, such a good stencil. Okay, I kind of want to come in from the side. Ooh, I like it. Maybe come in a little from like over here. Trying not to get my stencil in the paint there. There we go. Oop. So then I get the paint in the paint. Oh my gosh. I'm the most accident-prone artist. With some of these things. If there's something wet, I'm going to knock something in it. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I love it. Oh my gosh. I love these. Like, what about this thing? I do kind of like this thing here too. I almost hate to pull it off and lose that it's connected here. If you do a jelly plate, this would be a good mask for your jelly plate. So let's just not lose that. Kind of feeling like maybe I want a little bit of gold. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that. I love that. Let's do one right here. Oh, this is such a good paint day. It's amazing sometimes when you see supplies where you end up inspired to go. And even though this was a Sketchbox, let's do whatever Sketchbox thing we're gonna do. I've pulled out lots of other Sketchbox little goodies to complement, but again, the old pastels are kind of the last thing that you want to do, so it's all about having some fun as we go. Okay, I love those. Those are looking good. Okay, good one. Let's watch the other stencil. What did I do with it? Oh, right here. Let's do some of this one, because I like these. I like these. Let's just do a few of those. Okay, that's fun. Okay, that's a good one. That was a good one! Alright, now let's see. Let's put that right over here. I like this over here. Ooh, let's do it right here. Fun! Okay, these are fun. I do like little stars. Okay, that's lovely. All right. Yay for the stencils from Stencil Girl. I don't even know what I just did with the other one. I've lost it. Oh no, it's underneath. You ever be making stuff and you just lose whatever it is you're working on? Okay, now let's see. Okay, now let's go back. A little bit of this blue. This is how I like using oil pastels. I like them to be a mark making element kind of near the end. So after you start using these, you're definitely not, I don't know how I got that red on this one. You're not going to be able to really add other things on top of this. So that needs to be your last element, but you do have to do the finishing spray on it, because if you don't, they don't really ever dry, which kind of makes sense because, you know, you can pick up a Sennelier. I gotta get this color off of here. You can pick up an old Sennelier oil pastel and still be able to use it. I mean, it may have made a film on it that you got to get off, but for these just to stay moist forever, kind of lets you know that once it's on your paper, it might possibly not dry ever on the paper. So again, you need to fix it with an oil pastel fixative, and I use the Sennelier one to do that. And just a light spray, go outside, a light spray, and then let that dry, and then do just a second coat of light spray and let that dry. And what it does is, like, the next day you can go back and touch those and they don't really smear. It just gives it whatever it needs to let it harden up and dry. Now I'm just kind of a little extra end mark making. I do like this lovely metallic blue. This is pretty. It's a pretty color. And the Sennelier ones I have, I don't think that's got a metallic in it. I could be wrong though. I hadn't had them out in a while. But I do like it. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I love that one. And then what can you do with little samplers like this besides figure out how to use all your yummy supplies? You can make card fronts out of them. You can make little micro pieces of art. If you have some big pieces, you can have some little pieces to fill in. You can frame them. All kinds of stuff. You could give them away. They could be gift tags. Lots of good stuff we can do with little tiny pieces of art. But I enjoy experimenting and playing with all the different supplies, and this is a really good way to figure out how your supplies work without using up a ton of supplies that are a little more precious. And this gives you that chance to figure out, how do these work and what could I do with it without feeling like you're wasting all your supplies. Okay, I'm really loving where this ended up today. So I think I'm going to say these are good. But yeah, this gives you that opportunity to experiment and explore with all those supplies without wasting them and feeling like, oh, I didn't like what I got and I wasted those supplies. And so then you don't use your supplies. These turn out good every time. I love them. Okay, I'm gonna heat the little bitty tape because they seem to be stickier than they're supposed to be, and they are the only tape that I've got that wants to pull the paper, no matter what paper it is. So if you'll just heat the tape up, you won't tear your paper. And if you're using different paper that I'm using, if you heat the tape up, you should be able to not tear your paper because it lets the adhesive release. So especially if you're using like a student grade, like a pulp paper instead of a cotton paper, tape really likes to pull that pulp. Oh my gosh, pulling the tape is my favorite bit. We just start to see what it is that like just kind of reveals itself. I love it. I love it. This is my favorite part, is pulling tape. And then each piece becomes its own little piece of magic. And I did get a little tiny bit of watercolor right there. Arr! That's okay. Oh, look how pretty these are. This is a good color palette. With this yummy little golden blue in there too. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that turned out. And playing with a little bit of oil pastel there on top. Alright, that was fun. These were fun. I loved the Stencil Girl stencils this month. That made these rather delightful. I really love this big kind of circle pattern a lot. We'll definitely see this stencil and the stars. I loved that particular star. So yay! This was a good paint day at the end anyway. Hope you had fun hanging out with me and checking out the new Sketchbox and Stencil Club by Stencil Girl, and I'll see you guys next time.